Hello everyone, my name is Steven Zapata. I'm a concept artist, illustrator, online art teacher, and former instructor at Art Center College of Design. I would like to introduce you to my new drawing course, Form from Imagination, a course designed to help you draw with confidence from your mind. Maybe you want to be a professional illustrator or designer, maybe you want to be a master with a pencil, or maybe you just want to be the best artist that you can be. Beautiful goals. But it's not always clear how to improve the work that you do from imagination. Over the past 6 months, I've taken all of the little eurekas, tips, and essential exercises that gave me confidence drawing from my mind and compiled them into a sequential course. We start with the absolute foundations, covering the scientific nature of light and shadow, how to hatch, how to create flat tones, how to render spheres and cubes, and step by step, we move through combined shapes, complex shapes, organic shapes. We cover how to simplify extremely complex subjects like the head into basic shapes so that you can handle them more easily from your head. We look at how to understand and treat details. And by the end of these 14 chapters with over 50 video lessons, you'll be ready to do complex designs from your mind with fidelity and energy. And all the demos are done in pencil on paper, so you can do all of the assignments even if you don't have a fancy digital art setup. But I also have demos, instructions, and modifications to the assignments for those who do want to do them digitally. Here's how it works. Go to formfromimagination.com and sign up for the course. Download the assignment book and start watching the lectures. Do the assignments at your own pace. Take your time with them and use this self-study to develop your patience. When you're done, post your assignments in the exclusive community hub, and I'll personally critique your work with drawovers, diagrams, and advice. I want you to know, this course is no joke just because it's online. It is challenging content, and it is more complete than it would be if I was teaching this class at an art college as I have before. If I was teaching this class in person at Art Center today, I would just play these videos in class, knowing full well that they're the most concise, focused, edited, step-by-step way to convey the material. So I'm serious when I say, this course isn't just a substitute for a college-level course, it's better than a college-level course. And you don't have to pay thousands of dollars per credit and wind up hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. So thank you for checking out the course, thank you for watching this and for your support, and thank you for drawing and making your artwork. The world needs it. I'll see you soon.
Come in. Oh,
Hello, Joseph, is it?
hi, Dr. Zapata. Yes, Joe. How are you?
I'm well. What seems to be the problem, Joe?
Well, I'm having difficulty drawing from imagination.
Oh, Joseph, just so you know, that's totally normal. Why don't you tell me a little more about your problem? Is it that you can only draw from imagination if you're completely alone?
Doc, I can't ever draw from imagination.
What about if you're completely relaxed?
When I'm totally relaxed, I can't imagine a thing.
I see. Joseph, it's important to know that even with severe cases like this, there's always hope. I can prescribe an experimental therapy called Form from Imagination.
Form from imagination?
It's early days, but clinical trials are extremely promising. Why don't you try this for 6 months and then check back in with me?
Okay, I'll do whatever it takes. Did you just draw this?
Oh yeah.
Wow, it's amazing. Hey, Doc, do you ever have trouble drawing from imagination?
Oh no.
You wouldn't. I mean, you drew this.
That's right.
Wow.
Form from Imagination is an experimental therapy and is not yet approved for use by the FDA. Do not use Form from Imagination if you are already taking any prescriptions for drawing from reference, working side size, or tracing photos you didn't even take. Stop taking Form from Imagination if you experience any of these side effects: loss of interest in your personal projects, megalomaniacal self-confidence, hallucinations, unless they're the kind you're hoping for, drawing better than Steven Zapata, or feelings that purchasing the course was enough and you don't really need to do the exercises. Call your doctor if you have stiff gestures, flat forms, or boring ideas to address a possible life-threatening condition. Full sketchbooks have been reported with Form from Imagination and medicines like it. Other risks include long-term art careers, too many clients, and being worth more than you're charging for. Call your doctor today and ask about Form from Imagination. I'm here. There's no denying it. It can't be denied. If you want to be intellectually honest about what's going on here, you have to admit that I am here right now. In a darker world, in an alternate reality, there would be some way that I could fake it, some sort of artifice that goes all the way down to the bone that can somehow falsify my presence. But we don't live in that darker world. I'm absolutely here. And you have every reason to believe me. And if for some reason you think I'm protesting too much, if you think that the fact that I'm bringing it up at all is somehow evidence that something weird is going on, let me just remove that doubt from your mind by proving that I'm here live right now. Hello to Bent. Hello to Corey Krumnacher. Hello to Saman Kuched. Hello to Disc Breaker, Pyrus, Yigit, Kakar. Breck, Madak, Corey, Corey, you already got a hello. No double hellos for anybody. Lucas Suarez, Oster, Maxwell J, Mihail Simeonov, Mr. Soon, Stephen Gobert, MJ Clemente, I Can't, and the undeniable Tree Watcher. Don't forget Chris Manning, Yankee, and I think that's everybody. Hello, everyone. Oh, Luis Mira, hello. Soko, what is up? Soko says, a blank page. Not quite. I know it's very faint, but there's a little bit of drawing on there. Just some very goosey gray lines. Coffee. Check the time. All right. Hello, everybody. It's Wednesday, in case you need any amount of spatio-temporal orientation here. And what are we drawing today? Today is a little bit of prep work. I have life drawing tonight, and I am selecting my weapons. Testing out a few pencils, a few pencil marker combinations. When I have the benefit of knowing what's going on at life drawing, like if it's a themed life drawing, for example, the way that this one is, costume life drawing, superheroes, I like to do a little prep work, just like Batman would. And wouldn't you know it, that's who I'm drawing right now. I'm drawing the Batman. Famous for his prep work, you know, planning ahead, world's greatest detective. I learned my lessons from him. So when I know what the theme is for a life drawing, I do try to do a little bit of prep work. I don't like to go in there spaced out, distracted, the way that a lot of amateurs do. I plan ahead. I think about the subject matter. I think about the environment. I think, is this a dedicated life drawing space, or are we drawing at a bar or something like that? If it's a bar, I'm going to use a small sketchbook. I try to arrange everything. I have backup plans. It's like I have a drawing board in case I'm not going to have a horse, or I'm going to use a really small sketchbook, and I'm going to know if I'm going to lay it on my knee or if I'm going to lay it on a table in front of me. I try to fit everything down into one pencil case. All the tools that I want to use pre-selected for the subject matter. Appropriate colors, appropriate values, appropriate inking tools, appropriate drawing tools. Why? Why? Does it seem crazy? Does it seem neurotic? Does it seem strange? Does it seem somehow deeply unfair to prepare before life drawing? God damn it. Drawing is a competition. And I've never been anything but number one. So I'm gonna keep winning at it because the rewards are incredible and the societal clout cannot be denied. Very hyperallergic, very ArtNet, very Gagosian, very Pace Gallery, very fucking Guggenheim. And if you want to have a YouTube channel that gets a quarter of the views that a middle school girl with no post gets on TikTok, you'd better try to keep up. You'd better try to keep up. Hold on, where's my music? I always forget to put my music on. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Someone give Steven a Snickers. I'm fully fed. I'm completely fed. Hold on, I gotta move my rig here. Oh, but now the goddamn tip of my lens is in the shot. Get rid of that. How does one work on a project without goals? Goals is a very fuzzy word, one that I don't like personally. So, I mean, a project is, yeah, you know, you have the goal of, let's say, finishing it or something like that. But to really honor the nature of the project is a product. It's not really, it's less about the goal. It's like you got to care about the product. You're trying to ship the product. Oh, damn, I got light on this. Hold on a second. Let me close my curtain. God damn you. It's gonna be a hot one today in New York, so I'm trying to get stream done early. Got it going early in the morning. I mean, it's not really early. It's on time. It's the usual time I go, but you know what I mean. I'm just trying to not do it in the afternoon when the sun blasts directly into my studio, and it's unbearably hot in here. It's a little cooler right now. It's been cloudy this morning, so hopefully we're all right. I am drawing a photo of the actual cosplayer that is supposed to be posing as Batman at Life Drawing tonight, for the record. That's why this maybe seems strangely specific and why I keep looking up at my screen. I'm working from an actual photo of him in one of his getups. He seems to have a lot of Batman outfits, so I don't know which one he's bringing. I'm just drawing a random one. So I'm gonna move stuff out of this bag into this bag as I find things that I would like to work with. Favorite Batman is just pure nostalgia, I think. It's just the ones that I grew up with. So much of stuff like that, I think, is just inextricably linked to nostalgia. I don't like the ones that came before my Batmans, and I don't like the ones that came after my Batmans. And it's like, could it really be that my Batmans were the best Batmans? I don't think so. Johnny Pearson says, dude, rubber cement stinks. Come on, man. How could you be like that? Hold on, I gotta fix my camera. I can't be having my unkempt bed hair being cut off like this. I pull my camera up a bit. That's just starting new problems for me. So the camera's at the top of the rig. Now it's not in the shots. Now I gotta refocus. I gotta think, do I want to stick to mostly pencil or do I want to do a bit of inking tonight? Let's try a bit of inking, see which pens do not get smeared by the markers that we want to use. When I work in my sketchbook with markers, I prefer to use these, the Tombow double-sided, because they are water-based, so they don't bleed through the sketchbook. I love my Copics. They're much better than these in my opinion, but it is annoying that if you're going to use them heavily, you're basically cutting the number of sheets you have in half, because even the lightest little touch will bleed through to the next page. So I like these just for convenience sake when working in the sketchbook, because you can use both sides of the sheet. Steven, how do I learn coloring in digital art? It sucks the soul out of me and I can never get it right. I use Krita, by the way. Color is extremely subjective. It depends what kind of color you want to do. It's a huge question. I really think for the kind of art that I like to do color well or to understand color well is really just to understand light and the nature of light and what it's doing to form. And that's a big thing. It asks a lot of specific questions, scientific questions, physics questions, stuff like that. I wish I could give an easy answer to that, but I don't think there is one, or else why would people have been hunting for the holy grail of understanding color for painting for years and years and years, you know? And there's all sorts of different ways to use color, you know? There's no one right way. You've got to know what's your goal with color. And then you need to establish a sort of entire not mathematical, but mental model for color that is based around your goals. Because different desires for color, different taste for color, less about goals, more about taste, your taste for color. Different tastes for color will make contradictory things about color, viewpoints about it, understandings about it, either irrelevant or useful. So there's no one answer. Like, for example, let's say that you're really just going for gussy, over-the-top power in color, right? There is a mathematical fact that, a physics fact that for the most part, no colored light, that is to say a light that is strongly of a particular hue. So let's say a blue light, a yellow light, a magenta light, a red light. No strongly colored light will be as strong as a white light. In terms of overall intensity, in almost all situations, coming out of the same kind of light source, a white light that produces a broad, easy separation of value of local colors will always be actually more intense than a red wavelength light. That means that if you were trying to slavishly stick to the physical facts of color, it would be appropriate for you, if you wanted to get sort of a realistic feel to color, to always make sure that even if you were doing a painting where a room is only illuminated by a red LED light, that basically the lightest value that occurs in the room is 50% gray. That's what's going to make the red feel most red. And you will only go above that if you're working with a light that is more balanced and has a broader spectrum of color reproduction. Does that sound like it's if you're just going for raw excitement, raw energy in color, does that sound like the kind of rule that you should stick slavishly to? I think obviously not. So it's all about your taste and what you're trying to achieve with color. It's going to change what is important or useful to know about color basically completely. So as always, you got to get straight in your head first. You got to know what you want. I already can tell that I don't think these pens are ones I want to use. What else do I have out here? Yeah, maybe I stick with the pigment liners. Let me see what I got. Maybe. These back in the box. James Gurney's still the Bible on color and light. It's a very good reference book. I would never go so far as to call any color book the Bible of color. It depends. Again, it's far too subjective. I really believe that. It's just far too subjective for any one approach to cover everything. Like, for example, look at Joseph Albers, right? Joseph Albers probably wrote the currently culturally most important book on color theory in the world, right? But if we, as the sophisticated goblin painters that we are, read Joseph Albers' color theory, we're gonna find most of it basically irrelevant. We're gonna do the yuck, yuck, yuck modern art thing, right? Even though there is very useful things to learn in there about some of the stranger effects of color relativity, that is an entire book, an entire modus, an entire way of thinking, and an entire school of thinking about color that to the people who would tend to populate this stream, we would find it completely fucking irrelevant. Does that mean that it's wrong? No, it just means that color as a concept is so unbelievably vast that there can be whole books about it that completely miss the mark for certain sets of goals, for certain tastes. That says a lot. Damn it, dry. It's another reason to test your materials before you go to life drawing. Find out which pens are dry. Nothing sucks more than being excited to use a tool at life drawing and then you uncap it and you get going and you're like, God damn it, it was out. Since I'm doing tool selection on this stream, this is probably going to be one of those ones where I get up pretty often and go to my drawers and try to poke around and see what I've got. So apologies if I'm up and down on this one. Damn it, also dry. This one's really dry. All right, this one's going in the garbage pile, actually. I need a garbage pile. You gotta also throw out your materials every now and then. That's trash. My drawers are stuffed with pens that are completely dry. What's your personal thoughts on dip pens? I like them. I've been practicing them a lot lately. If you look at some recent streams and I did one recently on the Patreon. That was just me working on my dip pen workflow. They're tricky. They're something I always wanted to get better with. I've used them on and off over the years. Also dry. Damn, guys. Very unprofessional of me. Keep uncorking dry pens. Steven, GPT is getting crazy? Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've been doing Did a bunch of reading yesterday, checking out Auto GPT. You know, another prediction from my video fulfilled. We now have Auto GPT, an open source application for GPT-4 that allows GPT to prompt itself towards a preset goal and to run indefinitely. Oh yeah, but they're tools, you know. You'll always need a human in the loop. Yeah, it's all about people telling it what to do. And then right away, as soon as it was released, which is, you know, very recently, someone turned it into Chaos GPT, which is an indefinitely running Auto GPT that its express goal is to harm humanity. It like right away, like quickly concluded like, all right, I need some nuclear weapons and stuff like that. How am I going to do that? All right, I'll make a Twitter account and see if I can manipulate people into giving me power, and maybe that'll help me get nuclear weapons. Cool. Oh, it's so funny though. I mean, it can't, you know, it can't really do it. Yeah. It can't, but that's just an accident of the reality we live in. It's still trying to do it. The cowl is tricky because it needs to feel slightly bigger than a regular head. You know, it needs to feel like it can hold the ears in there. I don't mean in a like a comic book Batman design. I mean just like if you're doing what I'm doing, which is I'm trying to draw a real person in a Batman suit off of a photo right now. It's like the cowl needs to be a very specific size, or else it doesn't feel like his head is actually like in there. Obviously, in a stylized Batman situation, you can get away with all sorts of stuff as long as you make it look cool. And it's a photo, so there's no good shapes down here. It's all crushed off into blackness. I don't want to just get caught up on this one. I want to do a bunch of other drawings, so I'm not going to sit here and try to invent nice stuff there. All right, so what I use for this one, I use this pen, and I use the Identa pens. So this was Stad Pig Liner and Identa pen. I need to remember because I need to see which pens run with the markers over them and which don't. So I just need to take notes to remind me which ones I actually use so I can cut out the ones. Do you know who designed the Arkham Batman? I feel like I used to know that, but I forgot. It was 1,000 years ago. All right, first. I got a couple gray, slight range of gray markers, really just a very light, a medium, and a dark. So let's see if we run a, whoops. That color seems off. Yeah, that's not very gray, is it? See, this is why you test. See, that's warm. That's weirdly warm. That doesn't feel neutral. Maybe it's dirty? Oh yeah, I think it was dirty. It's also dry. God damn it. Gonna have to look for another one of those, I think. Let's just put a base tone down. Okay, both pens are holding up decently well. Nope. Dry. Dry, 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 dry. All right, guys, sorry. Give me a second. I got to go to my drawers and look for another one of these. You know, this is a very utilitarian stream. I need to pick specific tools. Oh, wait, I got a bag here. Maybe I got something that'll work in here. What is this? This is N89. That looks basically the same. That could be a contender. So let me swap this one out with that for now. But let me see if I have another N95. Yep, another N95. Here's another 55, which could be useful. Can you draw Hatsune Miku? I'm sorry, Mert Soybas, but I don't really do requests on the stream. I just draw whatever I want to draw at the time. I don't want to just pour this out all over my desk. I got a lot of nice Copic grays, but they'll bleed through the paper in the sketchbook, and I think I want to do the sketchbook tonight. Hey Steven, have you seen generated images by GH5? I have. I'm hella depressed right now. My aspirations of being a 2D game artist is crushed. Do not be crushed. We don't know what's going to happen. Artists have not rolled over. Not quite yet. A disappointing number of artists have rolled over, but not all of us. And whatever you do, don't give up on drawing. Even if you did have to pivot from game art, there's other things to pivot to. Most artists just love drawing. It's not really about a particular job. There is some people, you know, we have to understand there is nuance. There is some people who it's really just about the job. You know, they just want a particular job in the field. And, but they're, in my experience, they're a lower percentage. Most artists get into the fields because they want an excuse to keep drawing and stuff like that. You may have to be creative, you may have to push more. But you can still find ways to draw. All right, so this one's dry, into the garbage pile. This one seems relatively juicy. Just enough for a base tone. The Tombos are streakier than the Copics, just because their pigment load is less, but good enough for sketching. This one's a little juicier. This one might be better to use. Thank you for those encouraging words, man. Means a lot. I will continue my passion of painting. Never give up. Keep going. It's worth it no matter what, because if you've got the creative bug in you, you have to honor it, or else you'll go crazy. It'll create a sort of spiritual constipation that will eventually unravel your life if you don't get it out there. That's just the way creatives are. Would you still draw if it was illegal, says Soko. Yep. I'd be in the drawing underground. This middle gray marker has plenty of juice in it. And blend it out a bit with the lighter one. Whoops, destroys the paper. Good to know. That's why we test. Hi, pup. How you doing? How you doing, you little dog? Yay. Yay. Big stretch, yeah. All right, go on, get out of here. How does your breath stink again? I just brushed your teeth. We literally just brushed your teeth this morning. You got that stinky dog breath already. I gotta give her a new bone. Whoa. Camera looks a little darker than what's actually on the paper. Let me put that up a click. No, that looks... Now the paper is too bleached out. Let me change my mode here. I think if we go down to natural, that might look a little... it would sort of be a split the difference between that and that. I'm going to leave it on that just because it looks a little bit calmer. can do one pass out of the shadows with the marker to soften some edges and get a little bit of form roll. But if you go much more than that, paper that's not made specifically for markers, you'll destroy the paper usually. I'm getting a lot of pilling as I do this. A little bit of gradients always helps though. They'll always be there in reality, so even if you just kind of fake them and make them up, they'll generally make things feel more like reality. You know, reality, where Batman is. Let's see if we're usually at a costume drawing like this, I'll skip skin tones. They're rarely worth it for me. Skin tones really live on color variety, and you just don't have time usually in a life drawing session to like get all of this great color variety. That's my taste, that's my opinion. To all you people who spend a lot of time doing skin tones at life drawing, I'm not judging you. But in my experience, it's usually better just leave the drawing like that when you don't have a lot of time. In fact, I'm gonna take my own advice and not even test it. And yeah, see, the opposite side of the sheet still looks usable, right? You could see the marker a hair through it, but for the most part, you could keep going. Is this going to be the only Batman you will draw today? When you said you will draw Batman, I was expecting something like the Batman by Dave McKean. I don't know. Maybe. There's going to be a few models at this, so I was thinking of testing my materials for Batman, for Harley, and for Poison Ivy. Once I have my material straight, I might stop drawing this stuff and just draw my own stuff. You guys know I'm not really like a fan art guy. I'm not doing this because I want to draw. I'm not drawing what I'm drawing right now because I like want to draw Batman big time. I'm doing it to prepare for life drawing. Let's go to the other person. Are you going to be streaming tomorrow, Steve? Yeah. Yeah, the schedule these days is like Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I do plan on it. You might get tired me though, because even before streaming, I'd already been working for a couple hours doing feedback this morning. Now I'm streaming. Then I got more work to do right after this, and then all the way at 7 o'clock at night, I'm going to life drawing and doing hours of life drawing. So light day for me, light day. I'll be tired because I'll be hungover from drinking at life drawing, not from drawing. I'm just scrolling the model's Instagram looking for her Harley outfit, or at least a full shot of her Harley outfit. Like, what shoes does this Harley wear? Converse, it looks like. I take it this is Suicide Squad Harley. All right, so I don't need anything special for the boots. Just black and white. And this Harley is blue and red. I picked some tools out before stream, so I'm testing the ones that I grabbed. Any concepts you've done that was used by big companies, publishers? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've done stuff for Elder Scrolls, DC, Marvel, print, advertising, theme parks. Jesus, in theme parks I've done more concepts than I can remember. Very fast-paced industry. And a lot of those even after all these years, I still can't talk about them. But actually, this suit looks very similar. For example, I did a lot of design for the Batman Night Flight ride at Warner Brothers Abu Dhabi, and that Batman is in sort of this era suit in there. Had a lot of fun designing that ride. Maybe I'll ride it someday. Got to do a lot of design work on that alongside the legendary Michael Chaffee, one of my mentors. He designed the Batmobile for that ride. Sick Batmobile he came up with. I feel like I need... See, the problem with reds in markers is that they tend to just be very red, and you don't have a lot of value variety. On the blue, I've got a lighter blue, medium blue, darker blue. But I feel like these reds are all going to be similar intensity. Red's always a tough one with markers. Hey Joey, how are you, buddy? Vasat says, I'm here for the singing portion of the show. Steven Zapata has the voice of an angel. Everybody's here for the singing portion. When I go, don't speak, I know what you're thinking. This one's less blue than I wanted. That one comes off kind of more like an aqua green. Are those Tombos? Yes. Very slight difference between that blue and that blue. Just checking some values here. Pup. My dog loves when I sing, I tell you what. Joe says, not bad. At the office today. Tisk tisk, Joseph. How shameful of you to be a contributing member of society. Yeah, see, those values are all off. This one comes off too dark for my taste. It winds up reading very flat. I like that one in the middle more. That's like a brighter, poppier red. I'm gonna say this one does not make the cut. It's out of the running. How does this one look? Well, that's not bad. That's bright. Wait, is that the same color as this one? No, I like that one. Let's say those three. This red sucks. Fanny, what are you looking at me for? What could you want from me? Do you think I don't know that you have a super precise internal clock? We both know it's not 12 o'clock. So we both know there's no cookie coming. So what are you staring at me for? Go to bed. Go to bed. Go on, go to bed. What do you think is more important in making an image read well, the line work or the values? Either can do it. It depends like on a balance. Like, are you looking at the picture small or big? If you use both, It's not really about one or the other. It's about the balance of the two. Like, if you do a lot of really strong line work, often going too dark with the values will reduce the contrast on the line work within those values so much that they kind of disappear. That can sort of throw the color weights, the line weights out of balance. So sometimes if you really want the line work to sing, and if you've done a lot of really careful line weight, you want to use values that are only like 50% and up, so that even in the darker areas of the picture, the lines still read, you know? It's a balancing act. Did I just hear an angel? You did. You really did. I've got an angel inside me. And it sings whenever I open my mouth. This Suicide Squad Harley has some blondish hair, yeah? Maybe I need something for the blonde hair. It's very, very pale. It's not like yellow, yellow. It's almost white. Are you going to a DC live drawing? Yeah, it's like a costume life drawing session. Maybe something a little bit more yellow than that. It just happens to be Batman themed. It's not quite right. That's too yellow. One of these is close. That paler one is better. Let's say that one's the closest we have. Do I have a lighter yellow? This one looks promising. Oh yeah, that could do it. That really fades away. Sorry, I'm right where my head is. Yeah, that's pretty nice. It's kind of got like the sickly white gold color of that Harley's hair. That could work. That could work. If you just let the white of the paper show through so it doesn't get completely yellow. A little more green than I'd like. This one. Yeah, okay. Let's be cautious with this one. I'll bring it just in case one of these goes dry. That. This for hair. Too peachy, this one. Not even good for skin tone, that one. This one's not making the cut. Get it out of here. What's this guy like? Dry. Into the garbage pile. Away with you. And I've got black, right? Yeah, I've got a couple options for black. That's easy. I got that. I got my Pentel Pocket brush pen. I did not like any of these. Could this be a useful dark for red areas? It's not bad, actually. What is this? 837. That makes a nice shadow red. If we want to put any shadows on a red area. Let's keep that one. That one's not bad. We got probably more reds than we need. Red usually looks pretty nice, just flat, you know, just full power red. Joe Marziliano says, if I were writing a comic, I'd spell it Suicide Squad. And they'd all be lawyers suing superheroes for defamation. A real legal dramedy. Joe, you could do it. You're such a man of the world. You could keep it interesting. Such a man of the world and such a fan of comic book superheroes that you could keep it interesting, whereas others could not. It's rare to see a gradation of red. It is sometimes, yeah. Because if you go too light, it just becomes pink. Dino Blaster says, hey, yo, I'm watching Steven here. Steven, I'm watching here. Hey, yo, hey, yo. Well, hold on a second. Can't you see I'm watching Steven Zap it over here? Oh! Can't you see I'm watching Steven Zap it over here? Thank you for your belief in me. Joe, I've always believed in you. You've always been not just my friend, but my font of belief. You know how it is. Now, you comic book nerds will notice that this is not a version. Actually, maybe this is a version of Harley from the movies. I haven't seen Suicide Squad or anything like that. But it's not one I'm familiar with. Again, for anybody who doesn't know, that's because I'm drawing the cosplayer in her costume who will be one of the models at Life Drawing tonight. So I think she kind of came up with this costume, you know? So I'm not drawing a specific Harley. I am drawing this cosplayer in her costume and seeing how my tools fit with the colors and effects that she has. And I can't see the groin area because there's a text block over it. So let's just do that in a cursory way. Oh, I need a better eraser if I'm going to Life Drawing. Needed eraser is never fast enough. Give me 1 second, because I don't think I have. I'll be right back. I'm going to get my click erasers because those are better for life drawing usually. Uno momento, mis amigos. Well, I woke up Christmas morning and what did I see? I saw a lovely senorita looking back at me in Guadalupe with big brown eyes. Boy, what did you do this time? Made my excuses and a beeline for the bedroom door. She was begging and screaming, por favor, mi cumpleaños. Stay with me, baby, it's cold outside. Put your feet up, baby, it's Christmas time. We are living in a difficult time. Put your feet up, baby, it's Christmas time. Cumpleaños feliz. Happy birthday, Guadalupe. My dudes, my friends, my compatriots, where the heck are my erasers? These are not the ones that I wanted. I had fresh ones. Where the heck did I put them? I shuffle things back and forth between pencil cases so much. I lose track. There. Nope, that's not it. Damn. I'm looking for a different one of these. I can't remember where the hell I put it. Actually, I gotta use the restroom too. I will be right back. Give me 1 second. Falls 3616 has one big candy bar. Damn. The more people mention candy bars, the more I'm like, shit, I could go for a candy bar. Yeah, I don't know where I put that eraser that I want to be using. I don't want to go looking for it on stream because who knows how long it'll take me to find it. I should probably make a note to find it later, though. Once I'm off stream. In the storied realm of being off stream. It may seem medically impossible considering how often I'm here, but I am occasionally off stream. So in lieu of the eraser that I want to be using, I'm going to use this one and this one and this one. Actually, for life drawing, I don't need these tiny Tombow Mono Zero click erasers. You're not the same when you're hungry, Steven, says Arknark. That just goes to show how little you know me, truly. I'm exactly the same. Hunger doesn't affect me at all. I'm unmoved, unmodified, unchanged, equanimous, steady, like a rock. Always a question in a fast situation when you've got an intense and finicky texture like fishnet, if you should even attempt it. Fishnetting is one of those kinds of strong patterns where it's often like either get it right or don't do it, because if it's sloppy, not nicely spaced, if there's just something gross about it, it can kind of throw off the whole drawing when all you needed was a little bit more time. And it's often better to just edit it out for the sake of the drawing, you know? Steven, where is our daily Red Diamond man? God, they love him. They love him. What can I say? I effortlessly produce incredible characters, world-class characters that stay with people for their whole lives, for their entire lives. It gets in their brain in childhood, decides who they are as a person, affects them and their morality, their intention, their ethics, their worldview. And then by the time they're adults, parents, that's all they can think about. They're sitting by the family hearth saying, "Children, children, let me teach you about the only true God, Red Diamond Man. An incredible world-class character and entire intellectual property developed by Steven Zapata. Gather round, children, gather round. I will tell you his tales. Yes, yes, I will. Yes, I will. For the edification and betterment of your generation. They may seem strange and at times hypocritical to you now, but soon enough, you will know just how important they really are. Michael, shut up. I'm talking. Do you think that's respectful of your elders to just yap, run your mouth like that? I know you have a lot of childhood energy, but for fuck's sake, man, pay attention sometimes. These stories are important." Christ. Now, where was I? Ah, yes, Red Diamond Man. Red Diamond Man, Red Diamond Man, we see you on the horizon in our dreams and in our bathrooms. Red Diamond Man. What'd you think? Pretty sick, right? Yes, I was a professional singer back in the day. Okay, see, this is why we test. Again, one of the pens that I was feeling good about turned out to be dry. Dry. Gonna have to find another one of these. Yeah, big question mark about the fishnet, so I'm not going to ink it yet. We'll decide it at the end. Is drawing like a sky to you, Steven? Are you making fun of Ray? Don't be a dick. Are you coming back for Med's map too? Med has asked me a few times to do something for Med's map 2. He knows I'll do it if he asks. I did something for Med's map 1. Why wouldn't I come back for Med's map 2? I'm a pivotal character. Genre defining, some would say. Usually come to regret putting hard black lines in the hair. So let's work around that. When you know you're planning to include a little color, you want to use the values of the individual hues to your advantage, work with them. So if I was only doing black and white sketches, then I'd have to use some dark lines in the hair. But since I know I'm going to try to sneak a little color into these, I can plan ahead and say, since hair is sort of lighter, literally in like its volume and its psychological and physical weight, but then also it's lighter in value because Harley's hair is blonde and pink and cyan, might as well save it and let the color do the work. Damn. All right, this one's completely dry. Well, sometimes it seems dry and then other times it doesn't. I want to just throw it in the garbage pile and be done with it. But then when I use it broadside, it still puts down significant pigment. Let me go find another one of these before I forget, because I will forget. Oh, I will forget. I thought I had one. I thought I had seen another in the bags. Maybe I was thinking of these microns. I got some stuff that didn't actually make the cut in the cut pile. That's not good. You're not supposed to be in there. You guys I didn't wind up liking. You guys are my enemy. These are the reds that I'm using. These are the blues, baby. Yeah, let me go find another one of these because this is dry. Ooh, this one's a nice one. I've got everything but these. I've got everything but these. I've got everything but these chisel tips, folks. Let's see if this one has juice. Pretty feels a little dry. Damn shame. I got tons of brush tips, but I find at this small scale, I don't usually like the brush pens that much because they get a little out of control. It's like at larger scales, the variability between the line widths that you sort of naturally get very suddenly and out of control, they get scaled down. You get what I'm saying? They become less important because, well, just the drawing is bigger. But at small scales, every little subtle variation in the line width that you get from the brush pen becomes more and more important because, well, the drawing is smaller. So every variation takes up a bigger part of the drawing. So I find at these small scales, that really distracts me about the brush pens, and I wind up not liking them that much. The chisel tips give me a little bit more control at the small scales, but I just don't have a lot of them. Hi all, Steven, did you hear about the US Copyright Office policy on AI art? I'm just finding out about it now. Yes. Yes, I have seen it. That worked. No, see, that's too green. I don't like that. I want that to be a little bluer. I had tested that. And I still, you know what? Screw that guy. He's going to upset me at life drawing the same way that he just upset me just now, so he doesn't make the cut. Yes, I saw that. It's yeah, it's a complicated question. You know, there's parts of it that make a lot of sense to me. The part where you can't copyright the parts of a work that were done by an AI because there's not enough human agency involved. But as the way I interpret this reading or this policy right now, you can copyright AI works within an arrangement, a creative arrangement of those works. So you can copyright your arrangement. You can't ever copyright the images if you didn't do anything to them, which is the amount that you would need to do to them. That's for a future case because the current policy doesn't really cover that because we're in baby steps here. But the arrangements, like if you make a comic book out of AI images, as I understand it, as I interpret their ruling, you can copyright the comic book. You just can't copyright the individual images within it, which is, you know, if that sounds confusing to a layperson, I think it's because it is confused. It's like having your cake and eating it too. It's sort of a double standard, you know? This is gonna be some complicated stuff for us all to work out. So, question. You've got Harley, who in this costume shows a lot of skin. And like I said over here on Batman, I generally find skin not worth doing, skin tone, in short sketches like this. So what do? Like on Batman, it's not a big deal. It's just his muzzle, his delicious little chiseled muzzle is what you're leaving out. And it doesn't really feel like a big deal if that's just paper white. But with characters that are showing more skin, it can really become noticeable that you're leaving so much out. So, what do? What do? We must find a balance, dear friends. And Harley is very pale. But you don't just want to do her gray because gray doesn't quite feel pale. Sometimes you just need to have just the right marker. Maybe this one does it. Come to mama, tell me who hurt you. Leave one leg lighter, the other leg darker. See, that works all right, but it doesn't feel pale. Doesn't feel quite like Harley. Oof, and it picks up. See that? See how it picked up a bit of the blue and a bit of the red when I got sloppy with it? See, this is why I say usually skin tone is just not worth it. Introduces so many problems. She's got some jewelry she seems to wear. We might want some colors to get that jewelry. Maybe we do want a bright yellow for that, to make it different from what we're going to use for her hair. Earth says, what are you up to? I'm just choosing my weapons, choosing my tools, getting ready for a life drawing tonight. Going to a themed life drawing. Whenever I know the theme of a life drawing, I like to do a little, because you don't always, so it's kind of a rare plus. It's nice to pick your tools beforehand to work with the theme. It's nice if you get to pick some colors, stuff like that. So that's what I'm doing now. But that's the skin tone color. Let's do, let's put down, let's use this for the hair. Then get a little tricky. We'll put down a flash of red and a flash of blue, and then we will feather out with the hair color to sort of get the gradation that she has in her hair. Let's see how that looks. Not horrible. We could definitely make some use of that at life drawing. This, unfortunately, I think this will produce green. Ooh, yeah, that's not exactly what we want. That's not what it looks like. Harley's hair doesn't transition from green into blue. It just goes, the blue just lightens, doesn't mix to green. So that's not quite what we're looking for. It works for the red, doesn't work so well for the blue. This is why we test. This is why we test. Steven drawing fan art. I refuse to believe such action. I don't. This is definitely one of the few times that I do it when I'm trying to prepare for something. I'm not doing it because I woke up today and I was like, you know what? I want to draw Batman today. I'm doing it because life drawing tonight is superheroes. So I guess we'd really just want to do, we could just leave her eyes and all her facial features wide open. We can just do her smile as a flash of red. Yeah, that probably covers it. Just leave everything else wide open. I usually regret at life drawing going into things like eyelashes and stuff like that and putting big dark lines down. I find sort of doing a little mixed media there and just letting the gray of the pencil handle that usually feels like the right weight. Wait, real superheroes are going to be there? Yeah, it's a costume life drawing. The models are models slash cosplayers that do superhero cosplay. So they'll be in full costume. If you guys have never been to a costume life drawing, and admittedly, they are pretty rare outside of like the big art cities. But if you've never been to one, they're worth searching out. They're great practice. Being able to see sort of the extreme colors and forms that we associate with the more entertainment stuff that we draw, being able to just see that in a real environment under real lighting and sort of seeing how it wraps around stuff, hugely educational. Yeah, if you've never been, definitely try to take an opportunity to go to one when it comes up. Very educational. How do you find join one of these life drawing things? Just Google it for your city. It'll pop up. They're all around. Search life drawing or drink and draw, something like that. Everywhere's got them. Unless you live in like a really small town. And if you do, maybe you should start it. People will come flocking. There's always more than one artist in every town. Lack Asylum says, my favorite superhero is Yanni Baker. Mine too. All right, so I think we've got our tools for Harley and for Batman. And I believe the third model is coming as Poison Ivy. Now, when I looked before, I don't think I saw that she had a Poison Ivy outfit already up. So I don't think I can specifically look at hers, but I think Poison Ivy's much more consistent. It's green for the plants, and often her skin is like a paler green than the plants, and red hair, right? Usually, so we don't need to see their specific outfit for that. But we do want to make sure that we have appropriate colors. Estras Munoz gives $5. Incredible. Hey, Steven, I've been doing skull studies and I noticed that I don't have energy to draw anything else, or I can't think of something to draw for me. That's all right. That's all right. Just wait. Keep drawing. Keep contact time high with drawing. And pay attention to life. Pay attention to the world. Pay attention to what you're going through. And if you really pay attention and you keep drawing, one day something is going to smack you in the face that lets you know, hey, I'm what you're supposed to be drawing. You're going to go through some painful experience or vibrant experience, or you're going to get involved in some community that you want to make art about. Something's going to come up. Just stay connected with life, stay connected with the world, and I promise you something is going to come up. Until then, don't worry about it. No need to force it. Just draw. Just draw. If skulls is all that's ready to come up right now, just do skulls. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot to learn from skulls. You probably can't draw enough skulls, so I think you're okay. Oh, give me skulls, lots of skulls under starry skies above. Oh, please give me skulls. Draw more skulls, yes, I need more fucking skulls. Please pile them high. Build a mountain of skulls in front of me, of every shape and size and of every age. I need more skulls, so give them to me. Give me skulls. He is a great favorite, the judge. He is dancing. He never sleeps. He says that he will never die. All right, let's draw. I don't have a good photo of this cosplayer in her outfit. So I'm just gonna make up a quick Poison Ivy. And we'll just test some colors on that. I know, Fanny, I know you didn't like that song. I know that was very upsetting for you. I know you don't like that. Very scurry, very scurry. It's all right. Everything's gonna be A-okay. We just gotta stay calm, stay collected. It's gonna be all right. Showed up at the perfect time. Hello, James. This is not a particular Poison Ivy outfit. I'm not familiar enough with comics to know what Poison Ivy's most famous outfit looks like. I'm just drawing a generalized Poison Ivy. All right, now let's look at some hold on, let me fix my focus here because I needed to zoom out. I'm looking at a bunch of cosplay photos just to see what the general colors they use. This looks like usually her midriff is a darker green and her legs are a lighter green. Sometimes it's flipped. I see a couple here where the midriff is lighter and the legs are darker. But I'd say generally, her midsection is like a leaf green and then her legs are like a bright neon green. Who knows if that's how this model will do it. All right, let's see what greens I got. So maybe this would be the legs. Looks about right. This could be the midsection. Yep, that seems about right. And am I lucky enough that this green could be like the leaves? Yeah, there's enough of a value spread between them. It's not horrible. And this is why we test. This marker is not juicy enough to make it through the night. Yep, dead. Dead, 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 dead. And this is why we test. Must have another green around here somewhere. What is this? This is 173. This could do, but it's not quite as on the nose. But this could be useful to have as backup in a lot of situations. Let's keep that one, 173. Oh, right off the bat, I got another 173. Let's see. Wait, shit, which one was which? God damn it. Okay. Was this the juicy one? Okay, no, this is the dead one. We can keep it as a... Actually, no, fuck it. No, I can't risk it. All right, this one definitely has more juice, but it's not like it's totally flowing, so I think we got to keep both just in case. And we'll keep this as a backup, similar-ish. Modern Day James says, I literally only listen to Doja Cat now. That's good. You see? Excellent taste from James. Freak like me. You want a good girl who does bad things to you. So let's see if we can get away with using this for quick identification of the leaves. And does that pop out against the darkest color that we have? I always draw, since this is spandexy stuff, I always kind of draw the specular reflections first as these little shapes, and then I kind of just fill in around them. So that it feels nice and dark. And I just let the specular reflection do basically all the work for me of communicating the form. It's a lot of bang for the buck in quick situations like this. Yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good, actually. They separate nicely, the greens. Mm-hmm. Let's get a bunch of leaves on the leg. How does Poison Ivy's theme song go? It's like, poison ivy, plant girl, very dangerous, vines they squiggle, poisonous plants, runaway Batman, she's very scary. That's how it goes, right? I think so. Poison ivy, very dangerous, runaway Batman, extremely scary, nightmares for children, she poisoned you with a sexy kiss. Pretty sure that's how it goes. My dog, I swear to God, my dog visits me with every song. I can promise you that. She's right here. It doesn't matter what I'm singing. She's like, Daddy, it's time to check in. It'd be nice if we had a little bit, if we had a green that was slightly darker than this one, so we could do a little bit of modeling on the legs. Dog, calm down. Calm down. 15 minutes early for a cookie. I know you're so hungry. You're just a little pup. I'm mooshing up her face right now. Go on, get out of here. Yeah, that's not it. Let me see. So I'm using this. Do I have anything slightly darker than this that is not as dark as that, not as dark as that? Ooh, wow, that's tough. Maybe this olive color would kind of shade it a bit. Yep, slightly. NBD, that could do it. It kind of hurts the like purity of the green. A little bit, you know, there's like a purity to the green. I don't know about that one yet. What could do it? What could do it? I think this is the same as this one. 346, 346. 296. What's that about? I think that's the same as my middle, right? Yep. I need something just slightly darker than that. This is it. This is of interest. 245. That almost works. That almost works, but it feels like the same value as the mid-tone we're using for the leaves. This might just be confusing it. Might just be better to leave it pure. Yeah, I don't know about that. This is why we test. This is why we test. I got a lot of 296s. Yeah, I think maybe we just leave it pure. Not get so obsessed. I mean, what are the odds we'll even have time to do any of that? What are the odds? You know, you're at life drawing, things are going fast, you know, you probably only get one or two poses that are even, you're only gonna get one or two 20-minute poses. If you're lucky. Does Poison Ivy have red eyebrows? I guess kind of. I guess it depends what version you're looking at. Goodbye, I can't. Goodbye. The reds play nice together. There's no denying that. There is no denying that, friends. I can use a very light green as the shadows on her skin because there's so much green around her face that it makes sense that they would bounce up into the shadows. Bounce up. Friends, fellows, countrymen. Damn, I still need to find more chisel tips. I'll tell you what. There can be no denying that more chisel tips need to be found. How stinky are those markers? Not at all. These are water-based, not alcohol-based, so they don't stink one bit. I wonder if these, maybe these kuritakes will do me good. Nope, dead. Got another one, dead. Got nothing but dead materials. Can't open these. This is why we test. Into the garbage pile. Away. Away. What about these? We got a couple of these. Maybe these could be of use to us. I know I had another one of these. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where? I had a medium of this. Where is it? Where is it? Find him. Maybe these micron brush ones would do for this. Not bad, not bad. Got some juice in it. Pure black, not that nice inside of the plants though. All right. All right, I think we are ready for life drawing. We got our Harley colors, we got our Batman colors, and we got our Poison Ivy colors. We have done our due diligence. So let's put our chosen tools into our bag here. Let's see if they all fit. I don't like having too many bags that I need to carry around with me to life drawing. I gotta find another one of those. I do like the Micron brush pen, even though the brush pens generally bother me in these small scales. Does this have any juice in it? Just a bit. I mean, we can use them kind of dry. You can always breathe on them to moisten them up a bit. And I'm back from the dentist. Glad to see you're still alive, says Oster. Congratulations on surviving the dentist. You had a stranger with sharp implements excavate your most secret places. And you came out of it alive. No, I said I didn't like this one, right? Too green. What didn't I like about this one? Yeah, too green when I put it next to that. Infuriates me. I want it away from me. Doesn't belong in the bag. I'll grab it by accident. Getting a little tight here in the old giant pencil case. Only pencil I'll ever need. Let me refill this because it's getting a little light. Put a couple full-size pencils in here. Can I even close this? Did I want this one? I forget what the hell this one was for. Was this skin tone? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. This I don't want, this I don't want, this I don't want. It does close. Miracle upon miracles. Love having a giant pencil bag. It's a big microphone bag. It's bigger than your average pencil case. Fit markers in it and stuff like that. Love that goddamn thing. It's breaking though. The zipper is all messed up, but it gets the job done. All right, well, we got the sketchbook open, so I'm just gonna doodle now. We need another A to Z episode. I already explained. I explained in that A to Z episode. It's the one and only episode. There will never be another. So I don't know what you're hoping for, you know? We're all ready for life drawing. We put in our prep work, just like Batman would do. We're gonna draw Batman, and just like Batman, we did the prep work. Hello, plectrum dust. Emma Blomskog says, did you have any bad teacher experiences in art college? I know you went to Art Center, which is pretty high end. I'm curious if it happens in such institutions. Sure. My worst teacher experience was not in Art Center proper. It was in Art Center's night classes before I got into my program. But yeah, we all have bad teacher experiences. That experience was somebody just telling me that I didn't have it. You know, just flat out. It was like, you don't really have the creative mind. You're not going to be able to be an artist. But then ironically, he told me that, and then in a sort of contradictory way, sort of immediately tried to sell me on his classes. Like, maybe if you take my classes, there's something I could do with you. Which is like, who even knows if he meant what he said or if it was a sales tactic? Either way, I saw right through that shit. I was like, right. Finished up his class, never talked to him again. For the most part, my teachers have been pretty good. Ranging between mediocre and very good. I've also just had, you know, really bad crits and stuff like that. Just like gotten eviscerated, but I don't consider that like bad teacher experiences. Like they weren't personal. They weren't like without foundation. You know, those I don't count. Just like getting totally torn apart in a crit for the work. That's different. Besides that, I never really had like a moment where a teacher really showed me that they were just like either stupid or operating completely in bad faith. Iraq Wamba says, would you consider an AI artist as a visual artist? That's too much of a generalization for me to answer well. Depends on the practitioner. Depends what they're doing. Depends how they're using AI. Depends what kinds of AI they're using. Did they make their own models? Are they just using the publicly distributed unethical models? How are they sourcing their data? Are they fine-tuning something like Stable Diffusion and claiming that that's them making their own model when no, it's still based on Stable Diffusion? The data that you use to fine-tune it would not make any kind of functional thing without Stable Diffusion underneath it. People have been using AI to make visual art for long before the recent boom in distributed, publicly popular models. I don't think you can make generalizations about it. Depends who you're talking about and what they're doing. Oster says, can I ask some tips on highlights on skin/muscles? I know the principle, like how the light bounces at an angle, but I never know how to apply lighting on figures that feels correct. If you're, first off, you want to make sure that you really know what you mean by highlight. Like when you say highlight, do you mean the center light or do you mean the specular reflection? If you don't understand the difference between those two things, that's step one. You would need to learn those baseline distinctions between different parts of the light. If you don't know those baseline distinctions, this stuff is always going to get out of hand for you. So if you do understand those distinctions, and if what you're identifying as the highlight is the specular reflection, then I would say on skin and muscles and things like that, don't worry too much about it being correct. Use the specular reflection to inform the viewer as to the shape of the form that it is sitting on. So make it align with, make it exaggerate the shape of the underlying muscle belly or whatever it is that it's on, and use the edges of the specular reflection to communicate the texture of the skin. Nick Ravioli says, Stephen, in my experience, teachers can do some real damage by giving young kids and aspiring artists the idea of that is not how you do it. Indeed. Yeah, you all know. You know, especially Nick. You know that that's literally why I talk the way I do on the channel and try to deprogram the assumptions that I do on this channel. I don't think it's any light damage either. I think it's literally damage that fucks with people's lives. Those teachers have no idea what they're doing. And they must think it's all fun and games or something like that just because it's drawing. It's like they don't even realize that some errant words because they were in a bad mood or something like that will literally keep people from being creative for years. That's like cursing somebody. That's like putting an actual curse on somebody. Might be the closest thing to what a real curse could be. It's just like, I think it's an evil thing to do to another human being. I really do. They don't know that though. You know, well, the ones who are real assholes, they know it. They know they're doing it. But for a lot of them, they would be surprised to find out that you stopped drawing for 5 years because of one stupid thing that they said. They'd be like, oh, really? It's like, yeah, really, idiot. Stephen, have you played Hades or Transistor? I have played Hades. I have not played Transistor. Hades was good. I liked it. I was playing it on my Switch before bed for a long time there. Probably enough good things have been said about Hades. Dustifer B with $5 donation. Thank you so much, Dustifer. Hey, Stephen, what would you say to someone who has a lot of anxiety with making finished projects to show off in a portfolio? Love the art as always. Thank you, Dustifer. There's not much to say. I wish I could give you $5 worth of something to say, but you've just got to get through it. You know you need to, right? You know deep down that you have to. Your anxiety means nothing. You either want a portfolio or you don't. You need to make the drawings. You need to make the drawings. Analyze what's scaring you about it. What's giving you anxiety? For most people, it's usually like, if you burrow way deep down, there is a deep fear that the portfolio is sort of it. That the portfolio collapses the realm of possibility into a sort of mundane and sad reality. And people expect that that reality is going to be a disappointment. When you don't have a portfolio, when you don't have finished work that says this is what I'm capable of, you feel like you can just dream anything, like you're capable of anything, which you are, and you can keep dreaming. But then when we see ourselves creeping up on the portfolio, when we start adding one piece here, one piece there, and start to see them for their realism, their reality, the fact that they have imperfections, that they're not quite right, that we can always imagine something better, we can sort of build up this filmy, very sticky layer of disappointments that we can't quite shake off. And it can start to feel, when you're out of balance, when you're not thinking things through the right way, that The portfolio will sort of be this ultimate totem to everything that you can't do, and that it will show the world just how mediocre you are, right? For a lot of people. I'm not saying that's the case for you. It's just like, that's my experience as a teacher when I burrow down with people. That's what's sort of going on there. You need to realize, and this can be painful to realize, but it is the truth, that that is guaranteed. That is not a negative state to be avoided. That is not a disappointing state. That is not a state that could have been different if you had only been better. It is guaranteed that your portfolio will be mediocre, at least in your eyes, because you're the person who can make that stuff. Of course, you can always imagine it 1% better, 2% better. It is guaranteed that the work that you put out will not be able to live up to your taste, because you're an artist. Your taste is probably impeccable. Your favorite artwork is probably the peak artwork of the great masters of history. So why on earth, what realistic reason could you ever have to believe that you, someone who doesn't currently have a portfolio and who is struggling to put it together, what realistic reason could you have to believe that your portfolio would match the peak work of the great masters of history? It doesn't make any sense. In fact, it's insane. It's totally made up. It's nonsense. So you need to accept this is the case for everyone. This is the case for me. This is the case for my heroes. This is the case for you, that the portfolio that you put out will to some extent be unsatisfactory to you, and that on a bad day, you will be able to view it as a roadmap of all your failures, a map of all your failures and a roadmap to the things you could have done better. But that's not actually a negative thing, right? If you're feeling up and you've got energy and you're feeling positive, it's clear that that's a good thing, because that means that there's more growth, and look, you have a map. It shows you explicitly, here's all the things that you could do better, right? So you've got to remove the false expectation that you should be doing perfect work. It's impossible. It's not going to happen, and there's no goddamn reason to think you should be doing perfect work. You're just starting out. So just make things. Make the mediocre portfolio, and the miracle is that to some people, it will not be mediocre, including to art directors and people who otherwise commission you, right? How you feel about your work is always going to be just, it's like the viewer you just has a certain interpretation that is not guaranteed for every other viewer. So there's going to be someone out there who thinks it's better than you think it is. And then as you get better and better and better and better, that unlocks more and more doors. So even if to you it feels mediocre, and to you it's like, I'm sure you have noticed all of the many small disappointments that bring me great shame every day, there's going to be someone out there who wants to hire you, give you the job, show you. So you just keep going. Those are very good points, Stephen. I swear sometimes you're like the Alan Watts of art. Thank you, Dustifer. Remind me to message you when I need a blurb for the back of my book. It's very, very kind. I do love me some Alan. Mizubi says, why dissolve the ego? Having high standards and confidence is different than hubris and nemesis. Indeed it is. It's all got to be done in balance. And you know that it's out of balance when it keeps you from drawing. And it seems clear that that's what Dustifer has been going through. If it's not keeping you from drawing, arrogance, ego, feeling confident in yourself, well, it doesn't necessarily make you the coolest person in the world, but it's really not a problem in art, right? It'd be a problem in politics or something like that, but in art, you're good. You know, like you're not hurting anybody. You're just making work that makes you happy. I do really believe that if it's not keeping you from drawing, you can be as arrogant and conceited about your art as you want. Again, it's going to piss people off if you reveal that, you know. But if you're that arrogant and confident, you're not going to give a shit, right? Who cares? But the thing is that for most people, they're not experiencing the ego that way, and they're not experiencing perfectionism in that way. They experience it in an unwise and detrimental way where it keeps them from making work, and that's not useful. That's the point at which the ego has unhorsed the appropriate rider of the situation and is, well, they're not even riding the horse anymore. Now they're coming up with reasons to stay stagnant and to not make things. Johnny Pearson says, what does it mean to be creative? I feel I've met people that act like they think they're creative and they just aren't. I wouldn't worry too much about it. You don't know what they're going through. Just let them do their thing. Gilbor says, do you still have those days where you just forget how to draw properly? Any idea what that's about? Yeah, I do still have those days, but all that's happening is that you feel like you forgot how to draw properly. You didn't actually forget how to draw properly. Well, once you get a good amount of skill under your belt, you'll see that that's the case. It's like while you're still struggling, that can feel real because you'll feel like you forgot how to draw properly. And when you look at the paper, there's a messed up drawing, right? So it'll be like, oh God, this is real. Once you've been doing it for a long time and you have considerable skill, you will see that there will be days where you're like, I completely fucking forgot how to draw, and you'll be experiencing it that way and you'll be struggling through everything, but the drawing's still good. It's still perfectly good. It's maybe not your best, but it's still perfectly good. Once you see that, once you have the autobiographical fact of having lived that over and over again, you'll understand it. You'll believe it. You'll see that it's just that it just feels that way, but you didn't actually forget how to draw. But I still have those days all the time. It's just not a big deal because I see there's still a decent drawing on the page. It's just how I'm feeling. It's not a big deal. How many months should I draw to get over starting the drawing anxiety? It's not about months. It's about belief. You can leave it behind forever today, right now, snap of a finger. It's not about an amount of time spent. It can be for some people. It helps to just have a huge amount of drawings under your belt, but it's a nonsensical worry in the first place. If you can truly recognize it as being nonsensical, you can abandon it like that, like that, like that, like that. You don't need it. There's no reason to be afraid of starting a drawing. They're just drawings. They're just marks on pieces of paper. there's no drawing police coming. There is an official licensure board of excellent draftsmen, of which I'm a board member and an advisor and a highly paid consultant. And yeah, we're not going to give you your license to prove that you're a super high quality draftsman, but we're also not going to send our armed SWAT teams to go tear up your drawings. We only do those for the worst offenders. It's highly unlikely that you fit those criteria. So for the most part, you should feel comfortable just drawing. Stump is almost at the end of its life. It's a very soft. It's about to bend in my hand, like bend in half. It's damn near there. I don't throw these away until they're just completely useless, until they unravel or break in half. Ray says, I need to go play with my guitar. See you. Goodbye, Ray. I don't quite believe you're leaving, because every time you say you're leaving, you don't, but goodbye. Hello, Walrus. Hannah says, man, thank you so much for these streams. I'm always finding reassurance in your words. Helps me with my inner struggles. My pleasure. Happy to help. What's on the menu today? Well, now I'm just sketching. Earlier, I was getting ready for life drawing. I was testing materials for costume life drawing tonight. There's going to be a Batman. There's going to be a Harley. There's going to be a Poison Ivy. And I knew I wanted to bring some markers, so I did these tests to check that I had the colors that I wanted and put them into my pencil case. Throwing out dry markers. Real utilitarian prep work that I elected to do on stream. Why? Anybody's guess. Anybody's guess. You don't sharpen or sand stumps? No, not me. Some people do, I think, but I don't. I just use the small ones. Even when the small ones are blunt, they're small enough to give me the control that I want. Usually, I find I've tried it before. I've tried to sharpen them. Usually when I've tried it, it breaks them. They immediately fall apart, so I don't do it. What's the pencil? Is it 4B? This one is 14B. As dark as it gets. It's a good thing I have such incredible sensitivity and control, or else there'd be dark marks all over this. But in my steady hands, no problem. Full range of grays, even out of the darkest pencils. I mean, god damn. It's easy being the best. Hi, pup. Oh, she needs her cookie. I can't I can't screw her over like this. I'm a half hour late. Come. Sit. Down. 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 Roll over. Roll over. No. Down. Roll over. You gotta do it. Paw. Sit. Sit. Good girl. Down. Roll over. Roll over. Yes. Good girl. Good girl. Dude, she just finally got roll over. We've been trying to, dude, I've been trying to get her to get, she's gotten much trickier tricks than roll over very quickly. I've been trying to get her to get roll over for a long time. She just got it like 3 days ago. She's finally doing it, but I think I get now why it took so long. She hates it. It's clear now. She knows what I want. She knows what the trick is, but I think she's just like so wide in her rib cage. She has like a disproportionately wide rib cage. I think because she's like half chow chow or something like that. And, or some part chow chow. So she like really struggles. Like she'll get down, she's laying down, she'll get on her side from when I shoot her and she plays dead. But then once I say, all right, roll over, she's like, oh, she like really struggles. She has to squirm really hard to like get the momentum to go over. It's so cute, man. It's so cute. But yeah, I think she doesn't do it because she fucking hates it. She hates doing roll over. She's like, this trick sucks. It's very uncomfortable. Sometimes she bumps her head on the ground as she sort of does the flip. Dude, it's so cute. I'm so excited now that she does it, but I feel guilty. I'm like, oh man, I'm making her do a trick she hates. Don't just tell, show us. No. Now. Let her eat in peace. Let her eat her lunchtime cookie in peace. She's just my little dog. She's not endless YouTube fodder. Don't you know she needs 17 hours of beauty sleep a day? She ain't got time to be on camera. She gotta get her rest. M. DeBoer says, Steven, needs some wise words, getting a bit demoralized seeing how close AI is getting. And while I love studying and drawing from imagination, I feel my skill is getting worthless. Well, first off, let me say that your worries are valid, and that your fear, trepidation, hesitation, your concerns, it makes sense to have them. They're totally valid. I know from these discussions and things like that, that there can be a vibe coming from both sides, both from the AI art side and also even from within our community of people who are dismissive about it, like it's not a big deal. There's this dismissive, oppressive downward pressure that can make you feel like your concerns are not valid, like your emotions are senseless or something like that. And if you haven't heard it, I just want to tell you, it makes perfect sense to be worried about this stuff. And it is problematic. It is bad. It is doing unethical things. We are going to need to have a cultural and legal reckoning with them. And anyone who is trying to hand wave it away or tell you that's not the case or tell you not to think about it or not worry about it is just trying to make themselves feel better. That's just because they need that to be true in order to sustain their particular worldview. You know, they can't say it makes sense for you to worry because then it makes sense for them to worry, and they don't want to worry, or they want to be able to use these things without fretting about the ethical implications and things like that. So don't worry about that. Don't, that's ironic. I said, don't worry about that when I was just talking about how that's not right. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about the people putting that pressure on you. You've got to think through this in a very, don't worry, Iraq 1BA. I saw that, even though you deleted it. You're an idiot. Don't worry. I know you're an idiot. You can delete it and run as much as you want. You need to look at this personally. You need to go through this on personal terms, right? There's an industry situation going on. There is a blanket cultural situation going on, but there's also an evaluation that just needs to be made for you personally. So I'm the kind of person who temperamentally knows that I just want to make drawings no matter what, right? And I feel very spiritually connected to drawing. I feel the act of learning to draw, which requires you to learn how to see, which requires you to connect ever deeper with the way that the world presents itself to you. Through my experiences and what I've been through, I know that is worth it, even if there's no monetary reason to do it, even if there's no cultural reason to do it, even if there's no clout reason to do it, even if there's no just any feasible, easily said reason to do it. It's worth it on its own to go through the journey of marveling at the world, coming to understand it, and internalizing it to a level that you can exhale it from within, right? Becoming that intimately close with the nature of light, with the nature of form, with the nature of color, with the nature of design. It's difficult for me to hand that off to a person because it's so hard to describe. It's almost impossible to describe. It's like until you felt it, it's very hard to make someone believe that these mystical and spiritual experiences are actually on the table through doing these things, but they really are. And that small consolation when we consider how much of the incentives and the impetus that we have comes from the hope that we'll be able to make a living out of it, make some money off of it, be able to spend our time doing it. I understand that. I really do understand that. But for what it's worth, even if everything about the cultural institutions that uphold art as sort of a viable, reasonable path for those in those externalized realms like money and clout and status and working on games or movies or whatever, it would still be worth doing, even without that. like I said, it'd be hard to convince someone that that was the case if they hadn't had one of those experiences already, if they hadn't had sort of like a gateway entry experience into the spiritual realm of drawing and creation. But I do really believe that's the truth. The question then, after I say that, M. DeBoer, like I said, this is a personal evaluation. It's like, is that satisfactory to you? You can hear me say it, but do you believe it, right? Does it land with you? Does it feel right, right? If it lands with you and it feels right, and you somewhere deep down, you have some inclination to believe me, then follow that, then hunt that, then continue down the road of that. And your art practice will be inured to any possible damage from there being no money in it, there being no cloud in it, there being no reason to do it because AIs can do it better, right? It will be completely protected from that. If it doesn't resonate, if it doesn't land, if that doesn't feel satisfactory to you, you need to ask yourself honestly, and I wish this was some fun shit to say, right? I wish, but I'm not here to say fun stuff. I'm here to say honest things. If that doesn't resonate with you, if that's not the reasons that you do art, you have to have a real reckoning with what you want. Now, at this point, no matter what, let's say you hear me say there's a spiritual and mystical dimension to art making and drawing that is hard to explain, but is extremely profound. And you go, fucking stupid. What a fucking jagoff. Steven's a new age piece of shit. I mean, that means nothing to me. I'm into art to make money and to work on projects that make me sound cool at dinner parties when I say that I worked on A, B, C, D, E, right? Actually valid. I've said enough on this channel. You can watch all my old videos. I do genuinely think that's valid. There's every kind of art practice out there for every kind of person, right? But if that's how what I said lands to you, and that's really what's in your heart about it, then you maybe should quit because of AI. I don't know what to say. The problem right now is that if you were to choose that, it would still right now be an uninformed decision. But either way right now is going to be an uninformed decision because we don't know yet, right? If you're that kind of person and you're doing it for it fitting into your life, there being money in it, there being a job in it, there being clout in it, at this particular juncture, unfortunately, this could change next month, it could change in a year, it could change in 5 years. But right now, even knowing that, to choose to still continue to go towards art or to veer away from it because there's no good reason to do it if AI subsumes everything, either one is uninformed right now. Uncomfortable, sucks to say, but I think that's clearly the truth, right? No one knows what's going to happen. No one knows what's going to happen in court. No one knows what's going to happen in the cultural zeitgeist. No one knows what's going to happen to traditional art. Is it going to go through a renaissance? People will value it more, things like that. No one actually knows. So again, you got to look at yourself and feel in your guts. In light of that uncertainty, what kind of person are you? I know that me, in light of that uncertainty, I would not want to risk, if things go okay for art, I don't want to risk having not practiced for a year. I don't want to risk having not practiced for 5 years, 10 years. If at all possible, I want to keep doing it through the turmoil so that I don't look back. If everything goes great, if art just stays vibrant and survives and AI doesn't wind up being a big deal, which I personally don't believe is how it's going to go, I don't want to look back at the years that I cowered in fear as years wasted. And that is why, I mean, you could tell I take this stuff super seriously. I'm drawing my fucking ass off. You know, I take it seriously and I draw through it. I don't want to risk looking back at this time as years lost and practice unhad. Again, how does that feel to you? How does that feel to you? There's no right or wrong answer. But when you hear me say that, do you think, damn, Steven's crazy, right? Steven's nuts. You shouldn't do that. Maybe you veer. You know, maybe for you, that's not the right choice. What kind of person are you? You know, I wouldn't take anybody else's prescription. I wouldn't take anybody else's medicine. And people are going to spit their opinions and what they think you should do easy, cheap, because it's easy and cheap to do that. You've got to make your own choices. That's what life is. That's what life is about. You need to make your own decisions. You need to make your own decisions. I love all the nuances and improving and have no difficulty studying, but wanted to step it up to a full-time thing. But will it be still smart to put all my eggs in one basket? I'm obsessive over it and love it, but I also want at least some recognition for my hard work and skill. Yeah, I mean, you maybe need to diversify. You would need to consider diversifying how you get that recognition. I mean, at the very least, I mean, I think this is a good time to involve more of your personality, more of your personhood in your art. Share with people who you are as an individual. That doesn't mean that I'm advocating for, you know, blanket influencer-ism where you're just like, hey, everybody, welcome to my art channel. This is me, and here's the drawings I do. Not that, you know, but be creative about it. Find some way that it's not just about the skill and the art, but that there's more of you involved in a broader sense. For the love of God, document how you make your work. It's not like AI isn't going to be able to do that too. It can fake process and things like that. But if there winds up being a way to prove that process is real process, that someone is really making something, you're going to want that documentation. You'll be glad that you have it, that you will have been building it up over time. But no matter how bad things get, my gut tells me that it's unlikely that they'd get so bad that someone who works really, really hard and is honest and puts themselves out there in the world would be completely unable to get any recognition. Will it make it harder? Yes, I think it will make it harder. Will it make it so that there's maybe there's going to be less people total who can do that? I do personally think, yeah, it'll probably make it so that there's less people total who can do that. But it's still possible. A properly motivated person could still do it. It's very difficult to say, man. You know, I wish I had the sort of stupid confidence that a lot of people seem to have, where they really think they know what's going to happen here and what the right move is. I wish I had that, but I don't. I really don't. It's an extremely complicated thing that we're all going through. And my heart goes out to everybody. It sucks that for the people who are starting out, that they're starting out now, that they have to go through this while they start out. I don't know what to say. You know, it hurts my heart. It hurts my heart all the way down to know that people have to go through that while they're starting out in this era. It's real, man. Are you planning on doing a sketchbook tour? Here's your sketchbook tour right now. Ba ba da bee da ba da da ba bo ba digga digga doo da day ba da da ba dee da da ba da ba da ba dee boop ba da la bo ba da bee da cha da sa da da na now ba dee da li do ba dee da li da da ba dee da li do da do ba ja da ba da ska spitting ya da. Betting on the J, the bed, suited, do, but you dimmin' da 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 da, get a zoo da ba bo, but Jimmy bimmin' ba da, oh, ba dee da, ba do, spadee da, ba-dee-da, ba-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da-leo, ba-doo-da-doo-doo-doo, ba-ba-na-bow, ba-ja-na-bam-bow, ba-da-na-bam-bam, ba-da-na-ba-bow, ba-dee-da-dee-doo-doo-dee-da-ba-bow, Bad bo. Done. Sorry, I laugh because just, of course, Ray is still here. Of course, he lied when he said he was leaving. Ray gives $5.50 in Canadian currency and says, is it okay to be gay for the soul, but still love girls sexually? Ray, I'm going to level with you, man. I love your money. I mean, I can't get enough of it. I'll take all of it. But you are approaching my displeasure. Just going to be honest with you. Even though you paid me, you deserve the honesty. A lot of chaotic energy coming off of you lately, Ray. Maybe you're going through something. I have a lot of sympathy for that. A lot of empathy for that. Maybe we just ease off. Maybe we just ease off just a little bit. Just a little bit. Take some deep breaths. Maybe we all just take a couple deep breaths with Ray real quick. Just inhale through the nose. Hold for a couple beats. Exhale. Let's inhale the gay for the soul. And now let's exhale gay for the soul, but still love your girl sexually. All right, I think we all feel a lot better after that. I think we all feel a lot better after that. Seth Hat says, anyway, always happy to see another traditional drawing stream. You know, I love doing them. God, I love to draw on paper. Steven, you get to choose my upcoming burst guitar solo, rockish or jazzy smooth. I love to draw on my screen. Ray, go play guitar. Go play guitar right now. Go play guitar for 5 hours. I drew on cardboard as a challenge recently. It was an experience. Cardboard's actually a very nice surface for drawing. It takes materials surprisingly well, and you can use white on it, which is always nice. Sorry, gotta check something. Nope, all good. If you had to pick one thing to draw forever, you can draw that and nothing else. What would it be? Human figure, for sure. Infinite variety available in that. That's an easy one. That's basically what I spend all my time drawing anyway, without any restraints on me. Oh, Ray. Do not bring that energy in here. I'm very slow to time people out or ban them. Just gonna level with you, man. Do not bring that energy in here. Shut up. Or I will ban you. And I don't really need a good reason to. I just ban anybody who slightly annoys me regularly. Because if I don't do that, then I don't want to do the streams, and that ruins it for everybody. So don't even respond to this. Don't say anything. Just shut up. Stop typing. I mean it. Don't say anything. This is always what happens. I say something like this, and then the person can't help it. Then they say something, and then I ban them, and there's no coming back. So just shut up. Say nothing. I tried. They never listen. Well, we had a good time while it lasted, didn't we? Steven, is that Poison Ivy? Yes, it was. I was getting ready. I was selecting my materials for a superhero-themed life drawing that I'm going to tonight. And I know Poison Ivy is one of the characters that'll be there. So I was just testing my marker colors, picking colors that work for the character. Yo, who was your favorite anatomy teacher? Ray Bustos. I took several classes with him. I was also his teacher's assistant for many classes, so I got to pick his brain on anatomy for a very long time and hear his lectures more than once. He just, he knows it, man. He knows it. But there is a lot of great anatomy teachers out there. As a beginner concept artist, which jobs are easier to get? There are no easy jobs to get in concept art. It's a very desirable, very cloudy, very rare job. There are no easy concept art jobs. And it would be disingenuous for me to pretend that there was. Even the easiest ones require a lot of dedication, a lot of thought, a lot of planning, good connections, excellent portfolio. Highly, highly competitive. So Instead of thinking about which are the easiest to get, you should focus in on what you actually love to do, what actually sparks your interest and gives you energy to make a lot of really good work. If you find that energy, that will make it easier to get the job. Because I promise you, if someone identifies for you, these are the easier concept art jobs to get, and that subject matter doesn't align with you, if that doesn't actually inspire you, if it doesn't give you lots of energy, it doesn't matter that that's one of the easier concept art jobs to get. I can promise you, you will never get that job. You're not getting that job. Because no matter what it is, there's someone out there who that is exactly what they want to do. And they will have tons of energy for it because it really excites them. And they will eat your lunch every day, every damn day. Eat your lunch. What do you mean? Like, take your job. Not take your job, but like get the job that you're going for. Muscles look borderline fungal. Well, thank you. Thank you. What advice would you give to a person who has, since early childhood, used art as an escape? I know I need to be careful about it, but it feels like I can't stop now. Sorry for the repost. You need to be careful about it? What, do you feel like you're disassociating when you make your art or something like that? If it's not affecting your day-to-day life, if it's not like sort of, you know, if you're avoiding real social experiences and having relationships and things like that, because of that, because of retreating into your art, that's a problem. But short of that, it might not be. You know, it's art is a little world that you make for yourself. I mean, it's going to be a fun place to spend your time, you know? Ooh, folks, I'm getting hungry. We've been going for 3.5 hours here. It's going to be time soon. Time for lunch. Any last questions or anything like that? Throw them out there. I'll see what I can get to. I'll draw for just a few more minutes here. A little bit more here. I don't hate this drawing. I like how much this arches out. I do, I must admit it. What do you think of the Rot Ring 800? Had it for some time and it's really nice to just hold and look at, but the tip wobble makes using the pencil worse than the Graph Gear 1000. I think I have a Rot Ring 800 somewhere around here. I always liked it. God damn it, I think my wife stole it. She's always taking my best pencils. If it's the one that I think it is, I always liked it. How to draw perspective daily and not give up. Don't force yourself to grind too much. If you get really burnt out on stuff like that, just take a break. Give yourself time. Art's a marathon. It's going to take you years and years and years to get excellent, so you can give yourself a few days off. If it's pushing you to the point of giving up, you're forcing it, you know? Just take a couple days off. Draw stuff that you really like. Stuff that's a little easier for you. You'll build up your energy, eat some good food, get some exercise. And then in a couple days, you'll wake up or sit at the drawing table and realize, oh yeah, I've got energy to do some perspective. No big deal. Lassie talks about art, says, Stephen, do you have any advice for fear of missing out? I love the variety of life and want to experience a lot of things on top of the Herculean effort of learning art. Don't wall yourself off from life. Go do things. Go meet people. Go be out in the world. Go exercise. Go sit in that coffee shop. Like, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. And take it from someone who has made this mistake, still makes this mistake, has friends who've made this mistake. It is very easy, very, very easy to achieve great skills in art and then look around and realize that you have nothing to say because you completely walled yourself off from life. You're very tired and disconnected, and all you've known is just doing the lines. Be careful with that. That can be a problem. That really does happen. It happens to people all the time. It's totally worth it. Totally worth it to go out and live your life and experience the world and have experiences that remind you what you find fascinating and all of that. That stuff is super important for an artist. It's not to be taken lightly. Not to be missed, for sure. Plectrum Dust gives me 275, a symbol that I always forget what it is. I'm going to assume it's about 600,000 US dollars. Thank you so much, Plectrum Dust. Thank you so much. Now I'm rich. This is obviously a really big moment for me. You know, I wasn't rich before. Now with your donation, which I'm roughly guesstimating is about 600,000 US dollars, I'm not like wealthy. I'm not like generationally wealthy, but I got more money than most people in my generation now, just now, like right now, live on YouTube. So pretty big day for me today, folks. Pretty big day for me. I mean, we can all admit that. Pretty big day for Stevie Boy. Have a great lunch, sir. Thank you so much, Plectrum Dust. With the $600,000 that you gave me just now, I mean, I get any kind of lunch I want. Maybe I'll have like some like gold-leafed tofu, like delicious little cubes of tofu sitting on a bed of exotic vegetables, but they're covered in gold foil, like gold flake. It's like, that's edible, you know? Very non-toxic, very safe kind of a metal gold. I can eat as much of it as I want. I'll be buying them by the plate load. Here's another rich person, says the chef. Must be one of those online art streamers. The absolute hottest thing in our society these days. Absolutely. I thought Feng Zhu told us that the guy next to us that ended up drawing more because we rested would take our lunch because they ended up practicing more. Feng can just say stuff like that. I mean, I love Feng. He's smart, great artist, but he's just some fucking guy on the internet, just like me. So who you gonna believe? It's up to you. Time to make your own choices, baby. Time to make your own choices. I mean, you're gonna believe the guy who wants you to burn yourself out in a totally unrealistic way that has worked for almost zero people ever, and that removes the fun and joy out of art, but sort of triggers the piss and vinegar, youthful adrenaline rush desire to crush others and to believe that there's something objective about art that matters, which when you try to dredge it up or write about it or put it in some sort of concrete terms, it falls apart and slips through your fingers like sand? Or are you going to believe the guy who's telling you to take a deep breath and live a normal life in a way that has helped people all throughout their lives and be thoughtful about the work that you do and not exhaust your body and your mind? It may sound like I banked that or biased that in a particular direction, but it's up to you. What feels right for you today, now, in your life, at your age, with your family, with your friends, with your cultural position, with your needs, with your desires? What feels right? What's it going to be? Is it Fang or Stevie Boy? The choice is yours. The choice is yours. When people say that when you do a certain thing in art incorrectly or not, according to art fundamentals, can lead to bad habits, what examples of bad habits do you frequently see in people doing such? The number one bad habit that I see people have different bad habits. It's unique from person to person. But the number one bad habit that I see with young artists is they don't do enough slow, careful drawings. They sketch compulsively and habitually, which is good, essential, but they never go long on something. They never really slow down and take their time and work deliciously, because it's a very uncomfortable space. If the drawing's not coming out nice, it really hurts a lot of the time if you've committed to doing 50 hours on a piece because you want to push it as far as your skills currently are capable of, and 2 hours in you hate it, and you're looking down the barrel of 48 hours of like looking at something that you are self-reflexive about. You're like, this means I'm bad, this means I'm suck, this means I'm not good enough. That can hurt. That really hurts a lot of people. But trust me, that is like a place you need to visit regularly as an artist. And there is a huge amount of improvement there that a lot of people are missing out on. That's the number one mistake I see young artists make. You've got to balance it. You've got to occasionally push pieces as far as you can. And not, I say occasionally, but I mean regularly, with regularity, so that you know what the absolute edge of your abilities is, and you get used to just doing it nice and slow and delicious, like you're sitting down to a wonderful meal. You want art making to feel really good, really good. Sam Lamb says, Steven Zapata, I like your hair. I like your hair too, buddy. The dear Sam Lamb. I like your hair too. Thank you, everybody, for the nice lunch wishes. I appreciate it. That Steven Zapata is so hot right now. It's true. True. Just super popular. Let's see what else we got here. M. DeBoer says, many artists that make money make trash. It's not only about skill. It is definitely not only about skill. No, art improvement by itself alone will lead to happiness. Been there. It's the only thing in life. Hello, what are you talking about? I'm about to go. It's lunchtime for Stevie Boy. Good stream today, folks. We did a bunch of stuff. We did a bunch of drawing of all different types and preparations and mediums, and I'm ready for life drawing tonight. Gonna go eat some lunch, maybe read a book on my little patio balcony thing. Let's see how the weather is. Is it sit outdoors and read a book weather? Oh, yeah. Oh, it definitely is. Oh, and it's not too hot in here, even though it's warm outside. I'm impressed. I'm impressed by the world. Goodbye to Cassie Norwood. Goodbye to Renola Dominguez. Goodbye to Angel. Goodbye to Colin Gallagher. Goodbye to Sam Lamb, who says thank you and then tosses his hair. Goodbye to Mr. Soon. Goodbye to Naro. Goodbye to Some Wise Guy. Goodbye to Beatriz. Goodbye to M. DeBoer. Goodbye to Capitaine Citrion. Goodbye to Unknown Legost Lord Hannah Novan and Colin Gallagher. Goodbye to Seth Hatt. Goodbye to Gustav Tavares. Goodbye to The Flurinator. Goodbye to Hom Rain and Corey Krumnacher. Goodbye, everybody. I really appreciate it. Joseph Marziliano says, it's really nice out, Steve. Go take a walk. Talk to you later, buddy. Talk to you soon, my dear friend. Take care, everyone. It was a pleasure drawing with you today. I wish you all the best with your drawing endeavors. Take care, everybody.